Alright. Let's go, everybody. We've got MAXPAX, the best PvT player in the world, possibly the best Protoss in the world. Unfortunately, doesn't show up to LAN tournaments, but it doesn't matter because this is the Masters Coliseum 6, and he's been slaying it. He beat Maru already in this tournament, got himself a top 2 placing in the group stage, putting himself straight into the upper bracket, where he's drawn the luckiest prize of them all, a match against Cure. And I'm obviously joking. Cure is the strongest Terranverse Protoss player in the world in terms of recent results. His series are often close. They're exciting. They're action-packed. But at the end of the day, he almost always wins. Yeah, he lost a series to Geralt recently, right? You know, in a weekly cup. It wasn't an important tournament. Geralt played really well and managed to outmatch him in the late game, which was very impressive. But I do still think Cure is incredibly scary, and it's such a rough match for MAXPAX fans seeing him line up with Cure. Because I actually think MAXPAX might have a better chance versus Maru or Raynor. I think Serral and Cure are probably the two nightmare opponents for MAXPAX. And Reaper goes after that probe. Actually pulls it back a little bit too early there. MAXPAX, I thought, was going to lose a probe. Proxy Reaper very close to the base. Getting a probe here, not that big a deal. If he gets 2, even that's not too crazy. It's like, it's annoying for MAXPAX, but he committed to the bunker. He lost the SCV putting the bunker. You lose 2 probes. It's not a big deal. This kind of evens out. He has to float his barracks home after 2 Reapers, and that's, of course, very good for you as a Protoss player. Sees the command center. He knows that this is indeed an economic follow-up, and he is wasting that mining time on that as well. Barracks. Oh, Cure. He lifted it. He meant to click it home, but he must have clicked while it was still in the middle of the lift animation. This is what happens if you're used to playing with 0 MS on the Korean server, and you play with even a little bit of lag. The thing is, you can't give a move command to a barracks that's landed. So if you're playing with instant reaction, you can just lift, instantly right-click, it'll register. But you need to wait about 100 milliseconds, maybe 140 milliseconds before giving the right-click, or it's not going to go through, or you need to do something else, come back, and then give the click. So a slight delay there from Cure. This is something which an Australian would never make that mistake. We're born in lag. We are one with the lag. Cure, though, maybe hasn't been playing as many online tournaments as of late. Stalker going after this Reaper, but not able to get it. MAXPAX has opened up with a Stargate Phoenix follow-up here. Very good for controlling the action and heading towards Colossus play. It is a best of 5 series, guys, so this one ain't going to be ending very quickly one way or the other. And it looks like a 3 Widowmine drop into a Tech Lab factory. 3 Widowmine drop is not great versus Phoenix play, but I love the way he opened up multiple Stalkers to make it look like a Blink build. Yeah, you're really not... you're like, okay, yeah, it's a Blink build. Widowmine drop's pretty good versus Blink. That's definitely an issue. Second and third barracks on the way now. Going to see probably Raven and a tank into the 3 barracks production. And the barracks finally starts building its first reactor. Very delayed there. Oh, Phoenix finds the medevac on the way across the map. This is really bad for Cure. This is very bad for Cure. Do we pick up the Widow Mines? He's going to pick up one of the Widow Mines, and then he's just going to let one of them fire. But, oh, he left his probes really clumped. Uncharacteristic mistake. Oh, it's because the Reapers are in the main, and he's distracted. Okay. Oh, Cure with some good focus fire here. I didn't think he'd get much damage, but the Reapers are making up for it. That's why he's very, very powerful, man. Oh, looks like the Widow Mines will go down. That Stalker does outpace it. 8 probes. It's a lot. But I mean, he lost a lot of units as well. Like, units lost that, but still good for the Protoss, right? Zealot actually did a fair bit of damage to the command center before the siege tank came down and defended it. Building a Cyclone to try and defend the Phoenix. He's got nothing that shoots up right now. If those Phoenix fly in, that Raven is a free kill. That Raven needs to rally to the top left corner right now, or it is going to die. That Raven does not want to be out here, Cure. Cure, this is a big mistake, mate. If MAXPAX sees it, he will 100% dive on that. Oh, the Zealot Stalker going for it. There we go. He's going to dive. He will lose a Phoenix. And another one gets heavily damaged. Looks like the Zealot could go down as well, but well worth it to take out the Raven. Third Nexus is not started yet for MAXPAX, and he's only now got the Robo Bay. Obviously, he had to focus on re-probing up after the early damage. He's going to go for that Robo Bay there. Chrono boosting his probes quite a bit. Yeah, losing 8 probes that early does hurt. This gives Cure quite a bit of time to just build up. Up to 4 Phoenix right now. A lot of players stop at 5 to 8 Phoenix, and they don't really go for the 2 Stargate Phoenix with range, mass Colossus Disruptor Phoenix sort of style anymore. It's very rare. Oh. Phoenix picking off a few SCVs and Marines. Very nice. Immortal being built for MAXPAX. He is continuing Phoenix production, but intermittently. It's not super focused on it. Obviously, his priority is going to be Colossus production and probably extended Thermal Lance in a moment. Phoenix is still poking in and out. No third command center yet for Cure. And this is kind of the thing. I used to think Cure stayed too long on 2 bases, and it kind of feels like he has to do damage with his push. But because he's so good at killing people with those pushes, they have to be very careful. And he's got this amazing sense of when to commit to his push and when to pull back. A lot of Terrans overcommit to the push. Protoss is ready for it. They lose the game right there. Cure, even when his third's super late, he'll just go, nah, this isn't a good fight. He'll just back off, casually go to the next step. And he's got so much confidence as the game goes on, he'll be good. But that was unfortunate for Cure. He just lost an SCV and 5 Marines for nothing. That was really good. The turret was not quite finished yet. The Cyclone was far out of position. That really cost him big time. His first 2 medevacs aren't on the map. He's trying to push out to scare these Phoenix away now to try and scare MAXPAX. The MAXPAX looking very confident. Colossus range does start, as well as the second Colossus on the way. Twilight Council will go down. Still only on 1 gateway, guys. That is not a lot of production right now for MAXPAX. So a couple gateways will be added in. This is just the way Phoenix Colossus works. You build a lot of Phoenix, you make a lot of robo units, you make a lot of probes, and then you just have no support for those units for a few minutes. And you slowly add charge, +1, a bunch of gateways, and once the Zealot Archon joins, your army actually becomes a bit more able to move on the map. For now, MAXPAX is stuck turtling, and Cure is looking at pressure. Cure has not built a third command center yet. He's at 50 workers though. He's gonna take one soon. He's moved out an SCV to do that. Phoenix, spot this army. Wait, did he build a second Raven? He rebuilt his Raven. Cure really banking on that interference matrix big time. With only 2 medevacs, you can see he doesn't really want to stim. He'd like to get some free kills from here, but there's only 1 pylon in range. It's not exactly what I'd call a juicy pick-off here. Cure, you're not actually going to do that, are you? That's the silliest move I've ever seen. Cure just picked up a full medevac there and just threw it into the Phoenix. That was a Beyond-style drop. We call it that because Beyond's actually insane. And I think a little bit crazy when it comes to preserving his units. The Raven goes down as well. Cure, I don't know why he's trying to force this fight. Oh, that's why! Double drop on the left gets in. Okay, never mind, guys. What am I doing doubting Cure? The man is just trying to distract him on the right side. Get his attention there. Get enough pressure, microing those Phoenix. He can do damage on the left. The Widow Mines. Watch out for the Phoenix. Oh, the Phoenix taking some Widow Mine hits there. He does drag some friendly fire onto the bio, but he's losing a lot of his Phoenix for this. Colossus Stalker going down. Phoenix should be probably picking up that Marauder there. Widow Mine's going down as well. Luckily, there's no armory. Otherwise, that would be a bigger problem. Funnily enough, if he redropped the main during that time, MAXPAX has pulled his whole army out of position. Cure, though, will pull back. Units lost tab is in favor of MAXPAX. Not good for Terran, usually. That being said, MAXPAX is only on 60 workers. Cure's third's finished. He's on 58. So he will be able to saturate that and catch up in the mining now. And a 4th Nexus already starting for MAXPAX in the bottom left. Remember, MAXPAX has 5 Phoenix, no other anti-air control. His ground army has 2 sentries. He does not have stalkers, and he's got 7 gateways now. Charge and +1 are about to finish, and that Templar Archives coming up will allow him to make Archons as well to reinforce. Ghost Academy before Armory, so it's going to be sitting on 1-1 for a long time. This means Widow Mines won't be nearly as effective. Whereas, obviously, there's no observers out right now. So I think missing the armory, something which we know is, it's an unfortunate thing that Q has decided to skip on this game. It's going to cost him. Otherwise, these Widow Mines would not be able to be cleaned up. The first observer is just starting. That Widow Mine shoots, gets cleaned up. Q is poised to cancel that 4th, but he doesn't know it's there. Kind of rare for Protoss to take that 4th. Zealot run-by comes in. 2 of them take the Widow Mine, hits to the face. The other 2 kill the Widow Mines for revenge. Battery Overcharge tries to save the Nexus, but MAXPAX a little bit too slow on that, man. Widow Mine's getting set off on these probes. He's going to take out the 4th. On the left is Cure at the same time. He's got an 8 Marine drop in the main. Cure is all over MAXPAX. I thought MAXPAX was in a good spot, but hold that thought. There's a Prism with Zealot Warpins in the main right now. The Marine drop in the main of MAXPAX. The Phoenix with the batteries will take out these Marines eventually, especially with the Zealot Warpins. MAXPAX is taking crazy damage, though. He's going to try and push with his Colossus across the map. His Zealots are killing add-ons, killing the units as they pop out. A Ghost and a Zealot 1v1ing on top of the ramp. The Zealot looks like it's about to win, but the Ghost pulls back and gets support from its Marauder buddies. Third Nexus gets killed. MAXPAX now being forced home. He's going to recall. And Cure will back off. Nice move for Cure. Should catch an Archon there. He's not watching. But there we go. He does. He takes her out. And a couple more SCVs do go down. Zealot's taking out the SCVs on the third as well. Kua gets way ahead. Like I said, it's never that clean. It kind of looks a little questionable. And then it's like, nope, you're dead. Nope, you're dead. My name's Kua. And guess what? I've got 10 more workers. I got 10 more army supply. MAXPAX doesn't have a third. I do have 3 bases. Kua's got this in the bag now. It's one last desperate push. Basically, all MAXPAX has got going for him. Zealot dropping the main, but the Viking will clean up that prism. And as the rally gets there, he will be able to deal with it as more Marines and Marauders pop out. Army on the right side is coming in. So you got 3 Archons, 3 Colossus. The Ghost, very important here. An EMP on those Archons will do massive damage. Bio defends the main base. Remember, the Prism already went down. Here we go. The EMP already landed on a lot of those units. You can see the Colossus shield's almost completely gone. The Archon's getting hammered. Way too many Marauders. There's just not enough Protoss to defend that. With a round of Zealots or 2 warping in, it might have worked. He's got a few Zealots on the left doing a run by, but all the Colossus go down, and Kua with some fantastic multitasking and a crazy move to drop in the main really set himself up to start taking advantage of MAXPAX. That I'm going to elevate on this ledge while just boosting a reinforcement drop on the left. Felt like that's where the first damage happened, and from there, he just got MAXPAX on the ropes and didn't stop swinging. All right. Let's go, guys. Down in the bottom right, we've got Sightstorm Gaming's MAXPAX. Gonna go for a gate scout here. Actually, is that a gate scout? That feels like a late gate scout even. Getting there when the barracks is already finished. And try and block Kua's 1-rax expand. Let's say 450 minerals. 500 minerals. Command center only costs 400. This is a big delay, guys. That's a pretty big delay. Good 8-second delay there. He's hiding his Marine. He doesn't want to show that he skipped the Reaper. Will MAXPAX go back for that info? Looks like no, he's going to go home. There is no Zealot or anything like that, guys. We've got a pylon on the natural. Adept getting chrono boosted across this map. Pretty standard opening so far. Factory is on the way. Reactor. Second gas should go down momentarily. Obviously, you want to get the bunker first. Here we go. Second gas goes up. Safe, solid opening for Kua. But it is a very quick factory, remember. This is a very quick factory with this build, but that should make him safe against the Adept pressure. MAXPAX will shade that forwards to get over here nice and quick. He's going Twilight Council behind it, mixing up his build orders. Double Hellion production. All right, careful, Adept. You stay here too long, those roasty toasty cars are going to ruin your day. That would have been worth committing to the shade. 1 Marine doesn't do that much damage. You could just focus the SCV down. There's always a chance your opponent went Reactor first, has 3 Marines in the bunker. But I'd say that's pretty rare at top level. Reactor first builds not favored by the top pros. 2 Hellions into a few Widow Mines. Nice. Adept might finish the shade and recall is a pretty common maneuver here. Yep. Oh, no recall? Okay, there we go. Gonna take a fair bit of damage there. Just a slight delay on that recall. Maybe I had to wait for an energy or something like that. Stalker number 2 is on the way, and a 3rd gateway at the front. So it's 3-gate blink right now. No Robo just yet. This build is very safe. There we go, Robo as well. So Stalker blocks the Reapers, and then you just have everything else guarding the main against the Widow Mine drop. Now, obviously, the Widow Mine drop is often just going to boost in on the natural because you know they're kind of ready for it in the main. So we might just see the Stalkers hang on the ramp or just spread all around the bases. But you definitely want to get those. 4th gateway on the way as well. Oh, it's actually a 4-gate blink. Never mind. MAXPAX does love his 4-gate blink. It's a slight supply block on 36 workers. Kua with a 4 Widow Mine drop, going to be going into Ravens, tanks, and Marines behind it. I used to be really critical of Kua a few years ago. He did this every game. Every game, you know he's going to build 2 tanks and 2 Ravens. And I was like, this is way too safe. If they go like Phoenix or Master Stalker, the Raven's not that good. 2 Siege tanks is only good against like 4-gate blink. You don't really want to do this normally. And over time, I've just watched Kua win with Raven tank every game, and I've got a begrudging respect for it, where I've said, okay, normal people don't win with this, you do. 3 Widow Mines get burrowed, but great spready. 3 probes go down, no big deal. He's going to try and save some of them. Interesting. Stalkers are there. Oh, the Hellions poked the natural. 2 Stalkers chasing him down, but you got to watch out here, mate. Good play. Good play by MAXPAX. Remember, he didn't have Blink ready yet, so he wasn't able to do any fancy Blink control. But he's going to leave 2 Stalkers there. That medevac very close to being able to be getting shot down 82 hit points. I'm not good with numbers. You guys can do those numbers for me. 82 divided by 18. Oh, am I doing the numbers anyway? It's 5. 5 Stalker shots. So a third Stalker would make it a little bit more lethal because then you can 2-shot, 2-volley the medevac, but 2 will still be pretty good. The medevac does have armor as well. Stalker's going to blink in the main. That tank very well positioned. This tank is a bit out there, though. That's way too out there. Big mistake for Cure, putting that so far forward. Big mistake, man. Does lose a tank. No, 2 Stalkers have gone down. The Hellion's going to get taken out. A Widowmine did take out 4 probes during this, guys. But the medevac got taken out, and he's not done with his 4-gate yet. Where's the other tank? Oh, God, it's not out yet. This tank's going to go down. MAXPAX blinks on top. A lot of SCVs and Marines doing damage. The Prism saves some of the Stalkers. He's got to get more damage. Now there's an opening where there's no tank for just a few seconds. MAXPAX needs a little bit more damage here. Remember, he's lost a lot of SCVs behind this. He does get 11 workers, but that only ties up the worker count, which is still good for Terran. Double bunker on the natural. Cure with the very safe European defense. The Europeans are big fans of the double bunker. It's a fantastic way of holding. No extra tank building right now. Cure putting that tank so far forward. That means the natural's going to get jumped on. Oh, MAXPAX takes out the bunker. Doesn't even lose a Stalker for it. The Adept shades in, starts taking siege tank shots as well. The Stalker's going absolutely ham. Oh, he blinks forward. He blinks forward. MAXPAX, the mad dog. They call him a Danish prince. This man is a goddamn rabies-fueled Protoss right now. He feels nothing but rage. He just wants to shoot these men with guns out of the game. Beautiful Stalker engagements. I mean, he really has the best 4-gate blink right now, doesn't he? I always thought Hero was better than him for the longest time. But he has mixed this in so much in the last 6 months. MAXPAX has become a legend with this build order. And another tank in the open. Oh, no. He goes for the stim, sees the tank, and says, nah, that's all right. Let's just get out of there. Pulls back. Does lose 1 Stalker, but he's got more Stalkers going back in on the natural. Got to be careful, MAXPAX. That's a lot of bio. Stim's about to kick in as well. And he's just going to pick off a few of these SCVs. Back off. More Stalkers are in there on the natural. Cure is getting ran around. Double bunker, multiple tanks. That first tank sieged a bit too far in front. You want to keep your tanks in a very conservative placement. Cure did not respect the 4-gate blink and he got punished for it. You cannot be taking these chances against MAXPAX 4-gate blink, mate. Stims the buyer. MAXPAX just pulls back. He's got a 3rd base on the way. He's got a decent probe count, 45 versus 28. Still probably wants to go in the main. Oh my god, he's got another 7-8 Stalkers in the main? Dude, MAXPAX is on 19 blink Stalkers right now. Using that teleport to absolutely brutal effect. He's going to blink the rest of the Stalkers in here. He says, you sure you want to chase into this with just a few Marauders and Marines? Got the Warp Prism there, so when his blink's exhausted, he can always use that. And I wouldn't be surprised if MAXPAX just blinks on top of those Marauders at some point. It's not the most technical way of doing it, but he has the numbers advantage. Cure can't really even stim here. His medevac is completely out of healing juice. His starport just got sniped. There's Stalkers denying the main mineral line. MAXPAX is saying, come and deal with me, man. Tank sieged very far forward. MAXPAX eating some nasty tank shots. A little slow on the pullback decision, and that guy got stuck behind the minerals. You got to be careful. They can blink there. Of course, he's taken out both gases and 30 SCVs over the last few minutes, so I think he's okay. Blinks forward, 1-shots the tank, takes out a few of these SCVs. Red hit point Marauders are chasing him. It's only a matter of time before MAXPAX realizes he can turn and fight those guys. Essentially, these dudes are that guy guarding the crossing or whatever it is, the bridge knight in Monty Python. 'Tis but a flesh wound as they hop into battle. And of course, the King Arthur Stalkers just kind of shaking their head and going, man, I really don't want to finish you off, but I might have to. You guys are looking pretty worse for wear. There is blood spurting out of all the knobs. And Cure definitely getting the worst end of this one. Nice way to tie up the series for MAXPAX. Cure has to tap out. Alright guys, going into the next one, it's going to be Ancient Cistern. MAXPAX in the top right side of the map, and please scout MAXPAX. He's going to scout. It's that later 18th or 17th probe scout. The reason he needs to do it is Cure does this on this map an ungodly amount of the time. It is double proxy Rax Marauder. Cure used this versus Neeb in Sweden, and he actually, like, let's just say if I was Cure's coach, I'd be like, Cure, we need to do this on a different map. We've done this too many times on Ancient Cistern. You can't double proxy Rax Marauder every time you play this map. They're going to start to notice the pattern. I don't know if MAXPAX noticed it or not, because he normally does scout. I feel like he would scout earlier if he knew this was the case. But yeah, this is a tough build to deal with. You need to usually get a few shield batteries and stalkers and zealots up and pull probes to help fight, but it's definitely something where I think either a very early second gate or getting an early like Stargate or Robo can help. Now, MAXPAX is only on one gas so far. He builds that pylon quite far forward. I'd probably be building the pylon further back just to give myself like more room to retreat. He starts a zealot. Obviously, he sees only one gas, so he knows there's either a hidden command center, very unlikely, or it's going to be 2 Rax proxy marauders. So there's no secrets with this one. MAXPAX is going to start a battery immediately. Okay, yeah, so he's just saying I can do this with one gate. Brave, but definitely possible. And he's actually staying one gas, which, you know what? I never thought of this. If he keeps up probe production, he can afford to lose more probes fighting, which sounds kind of dumb, but it takes so long to build a second gate or a Stargate or a Robo. MAXPAX is saying, hey, just defend with one gate production, do it that way. The battery's already taken a lot of damage. The Zealot needs to chase that Marauder back. Concussive, you might think it's very late, but you actually are so gas-starved with this build, you're meant to delay it a little bit. It does feel a little later than it normally should be, though, just by a few seconds. He is building 2 Marauders at a time right now, his Cure. There's a Stalker and a Zealot here. 1 battery's up. The Nexus will finish, which is going to allow battery overcharge to be unlocked. There's so many Marauders building at a time versus just 1 Stalker building at a time. That's what's scary here. Like, you know you need to pull probes, and remember, there is a critical point. When he gets like 8 Marauders, they can almost one-shot a Stalker. Stalkers do have an armor, so technically it's 9 Marauders to one-shot a Stalker. But at that point, battery healing doesn't do anything. Much like with a 4-gate, you get to a certain Stalker count where you just one-shot their Stalkers, and it doesn't matter if they've got battery healing. Good fight for MAXPAX. Really good fight for MAXPAX. I think this is a really bad fight for Cure, because he didn't force overcharge out. He loses a Marauder and an SCV. And there's actually no follow-up for MAXPAX other than a second gate. So yeah, more batteries going down. Going to take out this SCV as MAXPAX. Got to be careful. That battery does take a fair bit of damage. He's just building more batteries, more Stalkers, and a second gate. MAXPAX has this response down tight. Seen a lot of Protoss players scout this and then just get overwhelmed. We're up to 6 Marauders, but one of them's almost dead. And that's definitely an issue. I would definitely want to heal that battery with the other battery, because you know he's going to click it. Yeah, it's a bit of a mistake for MAXPAX. If he healed that, it had a lot of energy on it. Still got a fair bit of healing. He's being so patient on battery overcharge. He needs it. Oh my god. There we go. Nice. You see, he had Marauders to just straight 2-shot that Stalker. Still very scary. Battery overcharge goes down. He's going to wait for more. He's accidentally building a Reaper. Oh no, a button. Misclick. That's a misclick, guys. He misclicked it. He's pulling the boys. It's a complete all-in. He accidentally built a Reaper there. Overcharge is gone. He's still got a few batteries worth of healing. A Zealot, 4 Stalkers and a bunch of probes. The Stalker's trying to pull back. He does lose a Stalker, though, does MAXPAX. That's very unfortunate. His Stalkers need to focus these Marauders down. He's going to have to pull all of his probes. Is MAXPAX to try and hang on? The Stalker's just fighting SCVs. If he runs forward to target the Marauders, he could get tagged and taken out by the concussive Marauders. My god, the Zealot is tanking so much. The Zealot just won't die. The Zealot won't die. Oh my god, the random Reaper comes in right now. Who the hell built that? Who the F is that guy? I can hear Conor McGregor shouting. That was a terrible McGregor impersonation, but I tried to like censor myself and not swear at the same time. Thank me, people with children later. Marauder's still very close with the Stalker count. It's still so close, but battery overcharge is about to come. Battery overcharge down. 4 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers versus 4 Marauders. He needs battery overcharge. He's out of healing, and battery overcharge just barely saved the day. Really nicely done. Really, really nicely done there by MAXPAX. He's lost 14 probes, and he's still at 27 versus 15. Remember, 15 SCVs went down as well. So Cure has gone for a complete all-in. And actually, the keeping up probe production, the 1 gas, non-stop Stalker battery production, and then slowly adding a second and third gateway, this seems to be the optimal response for MAXPAX. Really well managed by him, great micro. And Cure, he's just got so many wins over Protoss players in the last 6 months with this build. He retired Neeb with this build. Neeb would have gone through... Actually, it wasn't even Sweden. It was the World Championship, wasn't it? It was Katowice. It was like the start of the year. I said Sweden earlier. But he did this against Neeb in Neeb's last tournament. If Neeb had won that game, he would have gone through the group stage instead of Oliveira. And it was because of this dirty 2-Rax Marauder build. So... Cure's dirty 2-Rax Marauder alley-ooped Oliveira into that championship, for those who don't know. Battle between Neeb and Oliveira to get 3rd place in their Katowice group. But that's rock solid. It's game over. For those who don't know, there's still a probe scouting. He can go see the command center if he wants to. I mean, it's a command center. It's 20 workers. He's going to try and make stim. There's no Twilight, so the Stalkers aren't the best unit, but I mean, do they really need Blink when they've got 4 shield batteries backing them up? He's got a second gas on the natural. He starts a Twilight. Charge would be a very logical choice against someone who's so Marauder heavy. And yeah, this probe has been circling for the last 5 minutes, so Marauder finally heads back to kill it. Third barracks building at home, and Cure will play for a few more minutes, but what this build has almost got an unreasonable amount of mileage for Cure, I feel, over the last I said 6 months earlier, I guess it's more like 8 months. Pros, I really thought would have figured it out earlier, but I think it's because he just mixes it in once in a while. On this map specifically, big map. Oh, Stalker's coming forward. Is this a good fight for MAXPAX? This seems like a really questionable engagement. But the Zealots are so tanky. Cure needs to focus the Stalkers down. The Zealots are so tanky against the Marauders because the Marauders only do half damage versus them. Ah, yeah, look at that. If you get rid of Stim and Shields, it's all worth it for MAXPAX. So as much as I was doubting fighting with unupgraded gateway units, gets rid of the upgrades. Stim's actually going to kick in, funnily enough. Stim barely kicked in there, but what's he got? 2 Marauders, 4 Marines, make that 3 Marines. If I was MAXPAX, I'd actually stop to kill these barracks, because killing 2 barracks is amazing value. That's 300 minerals there. But I think MAXPAX might be antsy about straight up winning the game. And fair enough, that's usually a priority. He's even going to go blink. Third Nexus, and Cure will have to tap out. Oh, right. Game 4. He's down, but not out. The last one, a bit of a cheeky all-in, didn't work out. It's going to be back to actually a 2 racks play this time around, or a 2 gas, I should say, for Cure. No scout for him. He's known for being obsessive about scouting against Terran. Against Protoss, he's decided, yeah, it's MAXPAX. MAXPAX is kind of predictable. And I agree. I don't think MAXPAX mixes in that many things. Like, he'll go for like a 3-gate aggression and stuff, but it's often expand. It's always the same at the very start of the game. That's actually one thing I've noticed as well about like Serral versus MAXPAX. I really feel like MAXPAX plays very good standard play versus Serral, and Serral just beats him with build order planning. Like usually when they play, it's always like when it's just a standard situation and they're just playing back and forth mechanical StarCraft. It's like a pretty even match, but Serral just has like these little advantages he takes versus MAXPAX. And I like this one for Cure, just skipping the scout, saying, hey, it's all good. Speaking of 3-gate, MAXPAX is gonna 3-gate him, guys. It looks like a completely normal build. Where's that Reaper? Sorry, guys. Bad observing by me. Reaper comes in, sees the pylon. He's going to back off. And there we go. 2nd gate at the proxy. 3rd gate at home in the near future. Yeah, so if you scout in, you see 2 gases. You think, hey, normal build order. No worries. But there is, of course, a very good 3-gate aggression that comes off it. I don't know how he recognized that. He sees it as well. So he's just... Oh, his command center is exposed on the low ground, though. That's not good. His Reapers could have come back and fought this, but... Oh, this is really bad for Cure, right? Unless the Reapers find an undefended main base. Oh, no! Oh, MAXPAX doesn't have recall energy. Oh, no! All of his units just moved out. Oh! This is a disaster, mate. Sorry, guys. I should have made that more Australian. It's a disaster, mate. Oh, my God. This is not looking good for him, dude. 6 probes going down. MAXPAX... Oh, he's trying to be aggressive. He's denying the command center. If he had a single Adept or Stalker at home, he's okay. But he sent first a couple of gateway units across the map. And that was a little bit too much special sauce for this early game. And the tank already being on the high ground with the 2nd tank on the way. Cure is super safe. I still kind of feel he should probably cancel the command center and rebuild it, though, because moving to the low ground is very dangerous. Just 1 Stalker still pushing those Reapers away. The Reapers could split up. They could do 1 in the main, 1 in the natural, and they're guaranteed very good damage. Just hard to multitask that. 2nd tank's going to come to the low ground. Command center is super low. He could probably click it. He's going to go after the tank. Oh, MAXPAX takes a few big tank shots. Stalkers get damaged. Adept goes down. Command center's building. Now there's a 2nd tank there. Great hold. Arguably, you could warp in Adepts, shade in, and go for the cancel on that base. I do think that's possible. Stalker does keep pushing back those Reapers. Because if you shade the Adepts on top of the tank and drag that friendly fire onto it, yeah... There's just so little supporting firepower that might have worked. But MAXPAX backing off now. And he's forced 3 tanks out of Cure, which means Cure is not the most flexible army. That being said, Cure will have a fantastic push. Oh, Stalkers go hunting. But he wasn't microing it, so he does let those Reapers get away. Good micro by Cure. Cure can also clean up one of those gateways on the map whenever he feels like it. MAXPAX going Robo into 4 gas. Going to try and probably head to Colossus play. This is a very tough situation to be in. Marines and tank going to try to push to the pylon. That's a bit of an ambush for MAXPAX. Oh. Ow, MAXPAX. Oh, he's going to lose at least 2 Stalkers. The other 2 getting heavily damaged as well. Gateway gets depowered. These units regroup at the front. He can repair those. Units lost tab tells us a story. It is a story of Cua's dominance. 875 resources for MAXPAX. Only 100 resources lost for Cua. It's 1 SCV and 1 Marine for 6 probes, an Adept, 2 Stalkers, and a Pylon. Reaper's going to dive for their 16th try at the main base just to confirm what the tech is. Probes get pulled. Good move by MAXPAX. And he's only going to lose maybe 1 probe. Will he get a second one? And no, Cua not able to get 2. So that was good defense by MAXPAX, but he's doing this from already quite far behind. His 3rd Nexus starts. You know, that's normally a good thing. The problem is Cua's going to push you. I'm pretty sure he's not going to wait for combat shields. I don't think so. I think he could push right now. 14 Marines, a Marauder, 4 siege tanks. There's no way a bunch of unupgraded Stalkers are going to defend that. MAXPAX is actually lucky that it looks like Cua wants to stop to build a starport, wait for +1, wait for shields. This gives MAXPAX a little bit of time to get ready and maybe get his way back into this game. But because this is a late starport build, those 3 barracks have been pumping out an ungodly amount of Marines. Observer does scout through the base. He sees the delayed starport and that tank sitting there. And this is kind of telling him, okay, still a while away till you have some extra tech. And it's not really a spot where you're looking for an invisible blur above the command center. Easy to not notice that. Unless you zoom in and out. Normally looking for observers out here. Gateway still hasn't been depowered. Good scouting by Cua. Charge is on the way. Notice MAXPAX is not going blink. And the reason is, even though he has a lot of Stalkers out, he knows there's going to be a fight before blink and charge could both finish. And he figures charge is the more important upgrade when a fight happens, allowing his zealots to close the distance. Man, MAXPAX probe micro is pretty good, but Cua's Marine still manages to get the kill. Marine behind the 3rd as well. That one does go down. Lasers, man. Okay, check it out. MAXPAX sees this guy's siege tank unsieging. Let's go to MAXPAX vision. He needs to be looking at that. Yeah, he sees it. He sees the tank on siege. He sees the medevacs moving out. He pulls the observer back. This is MAXPAX camera view right now. Remember, he doesn't have blink, so he's got to keep his army grouped together. There is no Raven. The Colossus is very effective. Thinking about taking a 4th base is MAXPAX. He's on 3 mineral lines, 4 gases right now. Charge is still 50 seconds away. 1 or 2 chronos, and that would be very much helping him. Oh, the observer doesn't see the army turn around and that drop go to the right. Luckily, he does have an observer here. And MAXPAX will see the double drop. He's already got 4 Stalkers there. It takes 5 Stalkers to volley down a medevac in 2 volleys. 9 Stalker shots in total to kill a medevac. And he's up to 8, which is not quite the magic number, but pretty good. Oh. Probe sees the army on the left. MAXPAX has to go forward to greet it, but you know that's Cua's sign. When that army engages on the left, he's going to click that drop in. He's clicking it in right now. MAXPAX is kind of ready for it, but he doesn't have blink. He doesn't have blink. The drop gets around the back. Uh-oh. He does have a battery at least. The battery plus the Stalkers can do okay here. He's trying to move forward and focus the medevac. Trying to whoop in some zealots. Oh, he's going to pull those Stalkers and probes back. Yeah, he can't fight like this. Unless you stop him from unloading, it's a little bit too late. And the Marines are just focus firing their way through the battery overcharge. Nice play by Cua. 8 probes and a bunch of very expensive Stalkers. These are losses MAXPAX couldn't afford. It's the classic distract you with a big scary army on one side and get the damage with the pinprick in the back. Just a little couple of medevacs with Marines. Nothing that crazy. But the damage is actually crazy. 9 probes, a bunch of valuable units, and guess what? My 3rd's floating out. My Ghost Academy's on the way. I am looking absolutely slick. MAXPAX, better cancel that warp in. Oh, get up, get out of there. The Marines going after the warp prison. MAXPAX a little slow to unsiege, but he does get out of there, saves 2 of the zealots. Templar Archives is on the way. Looks like a Widow Mine drop just came in and got 13 probes. Oh, you naughty boy, you. Oh, Cua is really giving him all sorts of problems. He doesn't even have an armory, but he says it's fine. I just shoot. I pick up the Widow Mines. I save him. I get out of there. That's unfortunate. MAXPAX is trying to build a 4th, but he doesn't even have the workers to mine from it right now. Oh, man. 2 observers have gone down in this game as well, so MAXPAX is pretty blind. Stalker Colossus on the left does kind of stumble into Cua's army, which is good for MAXPAX, actually. But look at this. Big drop on the right. Going to take out the 4th and a few probes there. MAXPAX cancels. Rallies his probes away. He's trying to build a disruptor right now. He's got 1 on this map. I'm not sure where it is. Cua's like, hey, I might as well keep going, man. Ain't nothing here to stop me. Zealot Archon Stalker trying to get back in there. Some of the Stalkers from the main. Remember, there's no blink in this game. Battery Overcharge going to try to save those units as best they can. The Bio picks up, pulls back. Bio stimming in from the left side of the map right now. They're going to try and get in on top of that third. Focusing down the battery, the Nexus as well. Okie doke. Oh, Q is getting the Nexus as well. That's too much. That's too much damage. MAXPAX is just getting worn down. Total of 37 probes have died this game. That's a disaster. That is an absolute disaster. Double drop coming back into the main. A few Stalkers and a battery cannot really scare Cura away. There's still no blink or anything like that. The Archon Stalker will finally take out a medevac, but the units just stim away, most of them getting to safety. Marine Marauder is going to take out the battery. Oh, those units actually got idled. Bit of a mistake for Cura. It doesn't matter. He's getting so much damage in the main. When Cura is in charge, he is really in charge. His ability to just do those classic two-prong pressures, a bit too much for MAXPAX in this game. Early game, of course, though, being absolutely crucial. The Reaper's catching MAXPAX with his pants down and getting way too much damage. All right, guys, let's go. We've got Cura down here in the bottom left side of the map. Gas first, opening on altitude. eBay block. He's going for an eBay block, guys. Uh-oh. MAXPAX ain't going to see it. Look at the timing on that SCV. Just after the probe leaves, the SCV comes in. Disgusting. Oh, it's a good eBay block, that is, man. That's a good eBay block. This is so disruptive. I hate getting eBay blocked. So, problem is, he's going to build a Cybercore, go down to expand, and he's basically going to have to go take his third base because it's too late to take a second gas and a pylon. He would have needed to already do that if he wanted to play one base here. It's a disaster, mate. This is not good for MAXPAX. And as long as Q doesn't chuck a Beyond in that recent hero game where he let the engineering bay finish, he'll wait till he sees a Nexus, and then he'll cancel it. He'll try to block the Nexus if he can, but of course the Nexus will get down. And he'll just cancel the eBay, use that money to build a command center. I guess he doesn't need the money yet, because it won't make enough of a total to hit 400 minerals. But I don't think there's any real purpose to keeping the eBay up. Unless you think the Protoss is going to cancel the Nexus and then build it there once you cancel. I don't know. Anyway, Marine is out. Looks like a probe did die, by the way. So hats off to Cure with his SCV. Got harassed a bit, but it has a kill. The Drilly Boy Sarge. So you get 100 and like 107 minerals back. What is it? 94 minerals back from an engineering base. 75% when you cancel. Cancels it, gets the command center on 220. Can swap the factory on the reactor, make some Hellions, and that's going to be very difficult to deal with. One Adept on the map for MAXPAX. He starts Stargate before Adept and Warp Gate. I like it. He wants to get Phoenix out very early to help control the follow-up aggression that he knows is coming. Here we go. Hellions on the way. Adepts are coming forwards. Stargate is on the way. Second Adept's coming out as well. Adept's coming on forward. Gonna get the SCV snipe. Nice move for MAXPAX. That's a good start. He actually ends up getting a disruption there. Tiny little bit of tit for the tat that was already given to him by that engineering bay block. He goes battery in the third, but no battery in the main. I think going battery in both bases is just too hard to afford. And he's actually going to go Oracle. As I say it, he drops the second battery in the main. Never mind, guys. Pig sucks at StarCraft. Different choices being made, of course, to what I expected. And it's going to be 2 barracks factories, so he's going to potentially have a very aggressive Cyclone Marine follow-up. But for now, it's a 4 Hellion dive. Now, the trick here with MAXPAX is you need to defend and kill 2 of these Hellions. If you can get rid of 2 of the Hellions, you'll be fine. If those Hellions dive in the main, the Oracle's here. Oh, Oracle is the perfect counter to this. Oracle is actually going to shut this down, man. Oh, this is why I love Oracle openings. It's Oracle's dick on Hellions. Ooh, and with the Shades, he can maybe kill another one as well, because I think a Depth Shade, oh, it's just slightly slower than Hellions. Never mind. It's 1 more head off. Well done there by MAXPAX. Turns off his laser beam, goes into Phoenix play, and he's just got that 1 Oracle for utility for the rest of this game. So I think the quick Oracle, one of the best, like very high damage, high mobile tools, high mobility tools that you can use to shut down that sort of Hellion pressure. Hellion's going to try for a second drive-by. Oracle's on the wrong side of the map. Uh-oh. This could get nasty. Hellion's going to find himself a probe. Phoenix does take away the lethality. Takes 2 volleys to kill each of those probes. Means this shield battery can kind of save him up in the main as well. As long as he only loses 2 probes, it's okay. Good defense by MAXPAX. It's a little messy, kind of uncomfortable, but he does get out of there. Cyclone's chasing after the Oracle. Oracle pulls away, and it does survive. Very important for MAXPAX to survive there. He's on 1 gate, 1 Robo making Immortals at the front, and it is non-stop Marine stim into the factory and starport. Double Cyclones. Would love to catch these Phoenix or Oracles out. But now that there's multiple Phoenix coming in, and they're going to have at least 2 lifts available in a moment, that could be very interesting. Cyclones need a little bit of anti-air support. There's 14 Marines on the map right now. I think they could have probably applied more pressure to scare MAXPAX, but actually committing into Immortals, Batteries, and Phoenix, very difficult to do. So it looks like this game's going to slow down for a little while. Q going for the 3 racks bio production. Because he went for the quick starport, you can see his barracks are pretty much not producing. He's focusing on SCVs, upgrades, and tech, and the Marines are just getting squeezed in between every now and then. Okay. Few Marauders queuing up. Still no Marines building. Q's production a little dodgy here, man. Seems like he's super focused on getting the medevacs out so he can start stimming his Marines around, but definitely want to see that reacted barracks getting used a little more. It's very weird to see a Terran not using their barracks for a full minute of this game. Robo Bay on the way. We've got more Phoenix building right now. 5 Phoenix out. Actually, did he just cancel a Phoenix? I don't know. It just looks like 5 Phoenix is where he's happy to stop for now. 3rd Nexus is coming up. 52 probes. It's an 8-worker advantage. I feel like MAXPAX has handled what is a very frustrating opening for many players really well. Q did not find the damage he wanted. Oh, he does catch a Phoenix. Well done. Oh, no way. Phoenix gets out of there on 6 hit points. Medevacs are here, though, now. Q is still no 3rd base. He's just building depots, building bio, building medevacs. All of his upgrades getting close to finished. For now, it looks like he's mostly just mopping the map up, right? He's kind of taking map control, pushing MAXPAX vision into a corner, and MAXPAX starting his Twilight and Forge. So he's stuck turtling for the next few minutes of this game. Oracle could put down a few more stasis traps. I love having an Oracle alive for stasis traps, but because it's hard to track the army, Revelation might be more important right now. No observers on this map. Robo production is much more important to be used on Colossus. See, lots of gateways being built right now, which is cool, but the Robo is idling, and that could be a problem. Because if you have to split your army, you'd like to have a few Colossus in each location. If you can get up to 4, it's really nice to split 2 into each army rather than just having 1 Colossus out on its own. Much quicker to gun down Marines, punish clumping up of the Terran units. Q is doing a great job of veering around. His 3rd command center is incredibly... It feels incredibly slow with how this game goes, but I mean, it's not like he's that far behind on workers or anything. It still kind of comes down to the positioning in the next few engagements. Let's clean up a pylon or 2. Units lost tab is ahead for Q, but not massively. Gateway count's getting up to 9. Along with charge, plus 1. 3rd Colossus about to hit the field. I think we'll see a Warp Prism. No, he's going to go 4 Colossus. Okay. Bit more of a defensive MAXPAX this game. Warp Prism, of course, always used for aggression. 4th and 5th Barracks is on the way right now for Q. They're finishing up. Armory goes down. No, that's a Ghost Academy. Loves those early ghosts. Not a big fan of the early Armory. That does, like we said earlier, allow MAXPAX to get away with very limited observer production. Marine tries to take out probes. Phoenix say no. But other bio comes forward. Phoenix have to fall back. Where's that Oracle? Oracle's still alive. It's just been kind of peppering stasis traps here and there. MAXPAX thinking about a 4th base, but of course he can't protect it right now. Looks like this Widow Mine does make a getaway from that slow Zealot. Charge is almost finished, +1 as well. We've got Archons joining the fray. This is a strong point for MAXPAX. The next minute or so, there's no Ghosts out yet, even though the Ghost Academy finished, which means no EMPs. You're adding Archons, you're adding Charge Lots, your 4 Colossus army with that Warp Prism. I mean, there might be a timing attack available to MAXPAX. It's hard to get across the map because Q's army is obviously spread out here all the way on the left and the right. But that is a possibility. Charge kicks in. Those Zealots get a little bit faster, but MAXPAX not watching. They get taken down. Free kills there for Q. Q's going to try and dive the Nexus. Gets a kill on the 4th Nexus. Archons do take a Widow Mine hit, but the Phoenix picking up the rest of those. Good pickups by MAXPAX. On the left, the bio coming in. The Colossus do veer over there and start to scare them away. Those ghosts starting to come out right now. The first round of ghosts is ejecting itself from the barracks. A second engineering bay and an armory to add a little bit of continuation to the upgrades. And he's still just threatening both sides of the map at once. Kura, master of the two-prong. That being said, MAXPAX has not taken fatal damage. His economy's kept small, but his army is growing. 4 Colossus, 4 Archons, and an Immortal. Those Archons are getting weaker with every second that goes on as the EMPs gather energy. The Ghosts gather energy for EMP. Only got a +1 upgrade. We do want to see probably +1 armor or +2 attack in the near future. Zealot drop. Okay. Warping a few Zealots in the back. EMP comes in on that Prism. Ghost tries to click it down. Prism survives. Getting a Ghost kill, maybe even another one, would be very awesome for MAXPAX. Army on the left trying to chase after Cure right now, dude. He's just very calm at controlling the map. Doesn't really overextend. And with a few good EMPs, he might be able to blitz this army down. 4 Archons, 2 Colossus. It's a scary kind of thing, because like there's a few Phoenix that can pick up your Marauders. It's a lot of splash damage from the Protoss. Very fragile on both sides, because there's not much Zealot support. MAXPAX doesn't seem to know about that quad drop. It's going down that right side. Sneaky. Sneaky snake. He scans there. That tells you a lot. MAXPAX immediately realized what was happening. When he saw that scan, he moved right, but he didn't realize how deep the medevac was. Oh, where their Terran is scanning gives so much away about their intention in the game. There's Colossus getting recalled. The Phoenix are saying, this is a one-way trip. You're stuck here. He tries to drop on top EMPs, but the battery overcharge and the Colossus doing pretty well, man. Oh, if you could just get a few Zealots warping in to protect the Colossus would be so big. Oh, but MAXPAX can't quite do it. Cure, just a bit too powerful there. Overwhelming in that main base. Down at the front, it looks like the Widowmine does get a shot off as well. Oh, I thought that recall was so quick. I thought he'd be able to handle it. But Cure just overwhelms. Not a big enough recall for MAXPAX. Obviously, you always think the medevacs might turn around and drop the other side, so you don't want to recall your whole army. But that fight felt very good for Terran. The unit's lost tab confirms our suspicions. Now up 10 probes, trading 3,300 resources more efficiently than the Protoss. Oh, this is looking so good for Cure. Archon's going to come down with these Zealots, try and fight. But Archon and Zealot on its own is a very immobile composition. Doesn't feel like it's dexterous enough. Doesn't have the nimble ability to maneuver where they need to. Viking's going to take down this Prism Zealot drop. Oh, this is looking really bad for MAXPAX right now. He needs a win. But he doesn't even have Blink. His Phoenix have all been shot down, so he can't even punish these drops. If he has Stalkers, he can Blink, shoot down these medevacs, and punish his opponent for being so deep in his territory. I like the Zealot pull back from the Watchtower momentarily. Does get rid of a few of those Marauders on the right side. Nicely done. MAXPAX needs a bit of time. His 4th base is up. He's transferred some workers there. Archons should be able to take out that medevac. It's something. He gets a few kills there, closes the unit's loss gap slightly, but with 2-2 on the way and MAXPAX not making any extra upgrades, his Forge is idle. His Forge is idle, he lost 2 Colossus, his army is mass Archon, and there's 9 Ghosts. When they have as many Ghosts as you have Archons, the correct word for you to say as Protoss, I believe it's oh shucks, I believe is what they say. Protoss are a bit old-timey guys. You might use different language if you're a bit more of an angry gamer. But I think oh shucks is probably going to... It'll do okay as a placeholder for this one. Zealot Archon on the right side. They do take a Widowmine hit. You really don't want them to all be clumped up. You really do not want these Archons to all be clumped up. Archons are basically just a great way of dumping your gas into a unit that is generically good at fighting. The problem is, in this matchup, the Ghost counters it so bloody hard with EMP that you want to be split up into like 3 or 4 different fights. One big fight means extra Archon clumping, means extra EMP value. So right now, he's kind of using the Zealot Archon just to survive the mid-game, but he desperately wants to get into Disruptors. A 2nd and a 3rd Robo go down. He's trying to start chronoing Disruptors out, and just using those to buy himself a little bit of time. But man, look at this. Look how confident Cure is. He's got the EMPs. EMPs, the Archons, and the Zealots actually didn't take too much EMP. You can see just how scary the Zealot Archon is not what you want against a ball of Ghost Marine. Even though the Terran army is fragile, it is high damage. On the left side, he's coming in to cancel the 5th base as well. MAXPAX on the ropes right now. I could argue that Q is not showing the greatest killer instinct to finish the game off, but we can also point out he's got a 5th command center, +3 weapons, ship weapons coming in. I mean, he doesn't have a 2nd starport yet. That's definitely something we could be critical of. He's gone up to 8 barracks, though. Even building reactors on some of those, which is interesting. Most people go pure tech lab later on, but it looks like he went 2 tech labs, 1 reactor on his last 3 barracks. Biomine kind of just controlling the map, limiting space. He's got a few Vikings that are going to join in. The Disruptors need heroic shots, and there's only 2 of them out. He's building 2 more right now. Disruptor does at least get rid of a Widowmine, buys himself a little bit of time. Good EMPs landing, but The batteries can start healing those units up. One disruptor is sitting out a little bit. MAXPAX got to be careful. On the right side, MAXPAX jumps on him. Oh, looks like Cure wasn't watching for a moment. Lost a bunch of bio units. Good catch there for MAXPAX. 2 more commands in his building. Looks like the Iron Bank's on the way. Where is the second starport in the fusion core, though? Q's got a lot of money, and he's not really spending it on anything but bio. He just wants to trade right now. The bio ghost comes in. Disruptor shots. Oh, do find the mark. MAXPAX counterattacking on the right side as well. He's chasing him home. He says, you might have a big scary army on the left, but I can defend and survive with disruptor production and counterattack. That being said, no warp-in point on this right side of the map. Very rough for MAXPAX. Ideally, MAXPAX could get pylons all over the map, maybe some warp-in gateways. But of course, he hasn't had map control for a long time, so that's all a pipe dream right now. He's only on 64 workers. He doesn't have many observers at all, so he's having to use disruptor shots to clear up Widow Mines. He's very far behind on upgrades. Finally, he has +2 attack finished and +1 armor on the way, but that's going to be 2-1 against 3-3 Terran. MAXPAX balls do not care about upgrades, thankfully. But winning with balls alone against a Terran who almost always has his army split in 2 or 3 chunks, that's easier said than done, mate. Oh, surprise ball! Q are not watching, Q are not watching. Oh, man. Oh, that was very powerful. That was very, very powerful. Uh-oh, Q, you gotta be watching, mate. You gotta be careful. You can't just be leaving these little sections unattended. He should be the one bullying MAXPAX. He seems to have taken his foot off the aggression. He still doesn't have a second starport for Vikings and Libs. He's getting chased back on the left side. He doesn't have a planetary up there. That base is very vulnerable. And in the middle, MAXPAX is doing such a good job. I always talk about this being very dangerous because look how tiny this chunk is. If Q flanks this army, he can crush it. But it is MAXPAX's bread and butter. You know, I saw a comment the other day. They're like, why are you saying it's risky? That's what he does every game. It's still very risky, but MAXPAX is a master of making it work. That's what's so impressive about his PvT. Disruptor shot going forward, going after the Marauders. There we go. The Zealot Archon actually doing all right. They've avoided the worst of the EMP shots. The Disruptor's landing all over the right flank. The bio on the left is kind of scary, but he gets another walloping disruptor shot to the face. MAXPAX absolutely teabags Q's army, but the rest of his army is so weak. 2-1 versus 3-3. We talked about this. He did get 17 SCVs. I think that was one of the best things he got there. Is he really just wounded Q's economy? And he kept a lot of a few disruptors alive. He's making his own +3s, he's trying to get those more upgrades, but look at how quick that EMP into just one volley in the Archon disappears. And whoa, guys, Q is up 20 army supply, but it is all medevacs. He has 22 supply of medevacs. That is the borderline of too many medevacs. He's got to be careful. He does not want to build any more of those. He has swapped to Liberator production. But interestingly, Q does not have a second starport or a fusion core. Either of those pieces of tech would be probably checkmate in this game. But Q is keeping it very basic on Biomine Ghost with a few Vikings. There we go. Okay. He does now have the second starport in the fusion core. Advanced ballistics, +2 range, and 4 libs at a time. I think he could have been here a little earlier, but he's still up 50 supply. MAXPAX is limping to a 5th base while Q is going up to 6 bases. Actually, his 6 bases fully established. He's got planetaries on a 5th and a 6th. Oh, gonna try and shove up the guts is MAXPAX. He doesn't have too many Stalkers, but the Archons will help him clear those libs. This army's looking pretty small for MAXPAX. I'm a little worried for him here, guys. Those Colossus taking a beating from those Vikings. The Widow Mines get some good juicy shots there on the Zealots. Disruptors do throw the balls. Oh, cry havoc and let loose the balls of war. But at the same time, Q backstabs him on the top left, takes out his 5th base attempt. No 5th base for you. And his Robos are exposed. Oh no. Oh no, 2 of his Robos getting depowered. MAXPAX looks absolutely desperate right now to get some real damage done in this base trade, because what can he defend with? He's warping in a few Zealots. He's lost 13 probes. He's just so behind in this game. I don't see how he can make a meal out of this game. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But right now, he's getting lemon juice squirted in his eyes. He's wincing and blinking in pain. Nice in and out micro on the planetary. Q dodged the disruptor shot, popped the SCVs in, out of the planetary, started repairing, popped them in. And Cure with some fantastic controlling, all-consuming TvP. Watch that micro at the end one more time. That was really cool. I always admire this. In the heat of stuttering those units back, he's got units on the other side. And look at this. He sees the disruptor shot, pops the SCVs in, pops them out. Really nice micro, just to try and avoid some disruptor shots. The load, unload, the planetary tanking so much damage. And MAXPAX knew, even though if he kills this planetary, he's got a bio army coming in from behind. He's got a big bio army coming back across the map. He's got next to no economy. And Cure takes him out 3-2 in a very close TvP series. GG, well played to Cure.